Now at 5:30, over the past several months, the I-Team has been tracking police stops by the LAPD. Department data showing people of color are more likely to be pulled over. A new study from USC looked at police records and found that black people are stopped and arrested 3 times as often as whites and Latinos. The I-Team's Lolita Lopez found out how the research is now being used to start new conversations and make meaningful change.
It's not a good thing to come in contact with the police right now, especially because of my color, my skin color.
On the streets of South LA, London Wiley expressing how many residents say they feel.
It's good to just stay away from them. And it's sad that it comes to that, too.
In an analysis of stops and arrests by the LAPD between 2011 and 2018, researchers from USC found that in South LA, blacks are 3 times more likely than any other race to get stopped by police, even though Latinos make up 66% of the population in the community. And in the city overall,
what we saw was that it didn't really matter what the community was. You were going to see more black people stopped and arrested in all parts of the coverage area of the Los Angeles Police Department.
Also part of the study, former police officer Errol Southers, the director of the USC Safe Communities Institute. He says when the team shared their findings at community meetings with neighbors and police, they found different groups had varying definitions of public safety, with some people more interested in having working streetlights than having more cops on patrol.
There's a culture, although some agencies don't want to admit it, that exists. You can't train and equip and dress people for war and have them go to communities to engage. And that's what we do.
To have data to actually signify what they said they were feeling, kind of their lived experience, was really validating for people. And then it provides actually an opportunity for very specific conversations, again, to understand why do we observe the disproportionality.
This is a lot of what our community members talk about. And we're tired of it.
Gilbert Johnson works with the nonprofit group Community Coalition based in South LA. He says the USC data proves existing conditions, including law enforcement interactions, need to be replaced by a more community-based approach.
You can have community first responders, response teams to show up and de-escalate, that folks that are from our community with lived experience that have been impacted by these systems.
In an email, a spokesperson for the LAPD tells the I-Team it is reviewing the study's findings, adding it has previously established a working group at the Inspector General's office and others to analyze officer stop patterns. And it's also conducting the random audit of community interactions captured on police body-worn video to get a better understanding of these moments.
I feel that this is an opportunity and a moment in our history where real change may actually occur. We are now seeing departments think outside the box. We're seeing communities hold people more accountable.
Researchers also found there's been an increase in calls for police from communities across Los Angeles over the last decade. The next step for researchers is taking a look at what's behind the calls to police. Is there a relationship with things like a rise in homelessness or other factors? They'll also be taking a close look at what happens after a police stop is made. For the I-Team, Lolita Lopez, NBC4 News.